Listen up.
It don't matter if you woman or a man. Bump this while you wash your hands in the sink. Wrote this song to help you understand. This ain't been 20 seconds. What you think? When will this all end? Who the hell knows? Handshakes is out. We do head nods and elbows. We ain't touching for nothing. No discussion. Wash your hands. Avoid the repercussions. And we gon' kick this easy. Believe me. Just turn that water on. Nice and steamy. And let it run through your fingertips. Soap ain't a joke. If you woke, then you'll get a grip. And if you sneeze, I'ma bless you. But Clorox wipes in your sight could protect you. Just wipe that surface area down and get low. Just wipe that surface area down and get low. Here we go.
Wipe that surface area down and get low. Wipe that surface area down and get low.
I want a COVID-free Christmas. If Tom Hanks got it, then all of us on the hit list. Yeah, you protecting yourselves, but please don't buy all the TP off the shelves.
You're selfish.
We all gotta go equally. Don't be selfish and don't forget your decency.
You're rude.
If your forehead's glistening, maybe just try a little bit of social distancing. You want to party all night, bro? Just maybe do it on Skype, though.
FaceTime.
One thing is for certain. Keep that Purell pump on your person till the germs on your hands is erased. The last thing that you want to do is touch your face. COVID. Let me help you understand, y'all. Wash your hands, y'all.
Wipe that surface area down and get low. Wipe that surface area down and get low. Wash, 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 wash.
Stay clean, y'all. And we out.
That was much longer than I remember. And that's where we are in the world, folks. That's what we're left with, if not for the Kirk Minahan show. Thank God Kirk is heroically coming back at the perfect time for this country, because otherwise you'd be locked in your house with no choice but to watch things like that I'm sure news and radio across the country will be putting out over the next couple weeks. That was my good friend Kennedy from Carson and Kennedy, who has surprisingly not a horrendous voice, but she makes up with it with her sense of humor. So we've got an interesting show for you tonight, a real treat. We've got ourselves a brassiere brawl, a memory melee, a Cuda clash. We've got ourselves a good old-fashioned cat fight. But first, we're going to check with Chris to make sure he's all right with it, I guess. A star-studded cast. Quantum Week Chris is back with us. Dede and Lauren Lynn apparently have some sort of beef with each other. And frankly, I want to get to the bottom of it. But first, I want to know, Chris, are you all right with this?
Before we begin, I just wanted to say, kudos to Entercom to save some money by having that girl in the back of that video pick up the tissue she was throwing.
Yes.
Kind of a pathetic way to save money, but things are rough.
She was laid off minutes later. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully she can sell those tissues for some food. But I don't dare get in the way of such a sophisticated show as this. So Mike, take it away, please.
All right. So Dede and Lauren, for those of you that don't know, have been getting into a bit of a beef. I thought it was kind of nothing. When I watched the Minifan ladies, it seemed like there was something that kind of just blew over. Maybe it was overblown. But when I spoke to Dede, she's mad about not just that, but some other things, including I would hate for someone to come on this program and bash Steve Robinson, but it sounds like we may have that as well. Dede, for the folks at home, explain the crux of your beef here.
I'm not mad at Steve Robinson.
Okay.
Lauren and I never had any beef. That was the issue. There was no beef. And
Right.
And Steve mistakenly thought there was, and he put it out there that there was. So,
So then why? So the reason you guys are on this show is because the great Fez on Twitter alerted me to something going on Discord last night where you guys are sniping at each other.
Yes.
So how does that start?
Yes. Yep. Well, okay. Well, let me tell you the story.
Please.
So I heard the show, and I heard the part where Steve said that I was upset and that Lauren and I had words, and we hadn't had words ever, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. No, there was no. I never expected to be on more than once. I thought it was going to be like this show, where
So
it was
why
a
did
rotating.
Why did Steve think that?
I don't know. He said it was a DMs thing, and he got confused or something.
Okay.
And I started getting messages from people that calling me a clout chasing cunt, and that I should crawl back into my rock, and that I'm nothing but a 2-bit bitch, whatever. And
Jesus. Well, obviously that's the bottom 1% of Minifans, though. I would say just ignore them. Isn't that easy enough?
If you have 10,000 Minifans, 1%.
Okay, but you didn't get that many DMs, did you?
I got about 25 or 30.
Okay. People saying that level of stuff to you?
Yeah, it was stupid. It was ridiculous. It was like ridiculous. Anyways, so then I DM'd Steve and I said, I don't know where you got your information from. I'd love to hear where you heard it, because there's no issue, no issue at all. And he came back and said, I am sorry. I had a DM with several conversations going or something, and I got confused, and I'm sorry. And I said,
which is, to be fair with Steve, that's fine. I do that I get messages from people where I just assume it's that shit happens all the time with the amount of messages we get.
Yeah, I am not mad. It was a mistake to put it out there, I think, without backing it up. But even
can't you just say, like, it's a joke? At worst, Steve was saying, like, there's a beef between Lauren and Dede. Who really gives a shit?
But people out there don't think it's a joke. You guys don't I don't know if you guys understand how seriously people take this shit.
I've seen some of it.
Yeah, I bet you. So the problem is, you've all seen some of it. It's ridiculous. And this is supposed to be fun. You know what I mean? Like, for me, this is supposed to be fun. It was supposed to be lighthearted. I like the banter. I like talking with people, and it just got really stupid.
I agree with you on that, but the problem is, if you want to be any sort of a personality, and that extends. But I know, but that extends even to parody accounts or silly shit like that. I'm not saying you deserve messages like that, but just on social media, you kind of got to realize that some assholes are out there that are going to just say shit.
I get it. Believe me, I get it. Yeah, I know that. But I never, I didn't sign up for this. He called me, and it was fun. And then I got to go on your show, and it was fun. And then I got to go on Lauren's show, and it was fun. And then I went to talk with DC and my husband about mental illness, and that was good. It was good for me. I think it was good for people. I had people reach out to me about it. And then this, and I'm like, I don't even know. So anyway, moving on.
So far I'm hearing no real problem yet.
No, there wasn't. Okay. And then I went to Discord, because I'm in Discord, and some of the people in Discord aren't on Twitter, and some of the people in there were questioning me. So I posted a screenshot of the DM, which was very innocuous, and it didn't really say anything. Didn't say anything.
Okay.
And someone took it and posted it on Twitter, and Lauren took exception to that. And she said something about not thinking that's cool or something. And I said, the only person I sent it to was you. So I don't know how this happened. And I wasn't even thinking somebody would even do that, because I wouldn't do that. Anyways. So, and Lauren took it that I was saying that she did it. And that's not what I was saying at all. What I was saying was, I don't know how it happened, but obviously it was Discord.
Lauren, and then it all
got crazy out of control. But I talked to Lauren, and we DM'd, and everything was pretty good, right? I was just going to get off social media for a little bit and recover. We got some shit going on here that I need to take care of. And I mean, I was like, we're just going to agree to disagree. We'll stay away. She's like, we'll just stay away from each other, and we'll move on, and that's fine. And then I heard the Minifan show.
Okay.
And that was the straw. That was the straw that broke the camel's back, because I was so blindsided and blown away by that.
I watched. I don't remember anything bad being said about you.
Yeah, that's because it wasn't you they were fucking talking about. It was me.
Okay. And what did you take exception to?
I took exception to the passive aggressive part, and I was just on his show. 2 weeks ago, I was on his show, and he's trying to get Brandy to dish on me. And I've never had anything but positive interactions with her. And I had no idea that this was going to even be a topic on that show. And why should it be a topic on that show? This is my life. I mean, fuck, who cares? Who cares?
Lauren, go ahead.
So anyways, so I was off Twitter and I was in Discord, and then Brandy came in and I confronted her about it, and then someone must have messaged Lauren or something, because she came in.
Real quick, I just want to hear Lauren's take on all this so far.
Yep, that's fine. That's good.
So she's recapping it actually very accurately. I did say that I don't love the idea of posting the DM in Discord. I understand a lot of people think it's fine. You know, if people
who
don't
cares?
think
It's not your DM. It's none of your business.
Hey, hold on.
No, I'm just saying. Just stay out of it.
Excuse me. You've been talking for 10 minutes. Hold on.
No, I've been talking for 8 minutes, but thanks.
Jesus Christ. So I said, I don't love that the DM is shared and was being shared. So the question that was asked to me was, who posted a DM? My response was, you did. And why that makes me, to quote you right here, a mean, vindictive, snake-ass bitch is absolutely beyond me.
You think
Absolutely.
Lauren's Lauren's like the nicest Minifan there is?
A mean, vindictive,
You asked me verbatim.
Lauren, you are the meanest fucking girl I have ever met. You seriously are, and it's.
What have I
I feel the same way about you. So
what have I said to you that's mean, Dede? What have I said to you that's mean? Go ahead. One thing.
You don't have to say anything, honey. I get it. This is why I'm not friends with girls, because they're bitches. I mean, someone comes along and you even see a tiny little bit of challenge, a tiny little bit of competition, and fuck it. You can't keep your claws in your hands.
Can I just tell you, you try to act tough and you're extremely sensitive. You can't handle it. You're sitting here obviously unable to handle it.
The people that think they're better than everybody else because they've been listening for longer. I love the show. I love Kirk. I like Blind Mike. I like Steve. And the rest of you can go fuck yourselves.
She left?
Is she mad at me?
Oh, no.
Yes, you heard the list, Chris. She likes the following people and she hates everybody else. That sounds absolutely, I mean...
well, this is disappointing.
The last time I asked what was said that was mean, this was her response. Fuck off. And I'm the mean person? Are you kidding me right now?
Well, she told me, I asked if she would come on, and she said, as long as you know, like, it could get ugly. And I said, hey, no problem at all. So I thought she was in here ready to fight, but I don't know. She doesn't seem like she really wanted it. Maybe it was a mistake to have her in. It seemed like it was you weren't in the room, Lauren. It was me and Chris having a nice conversation. And then when Dede came in, it felt not her fault. It felt tension. It felt like she was, I don't know if nervous is the right word, but she was very quiet and ready to go.
Yeah, of course, saving it for, when it comes on. But like, I'm sorry, but that's not handling yourself well, and that's being sensitive. There was the tweet, oh, I'm going off Twitter. Then she came back on to call me a bitch again, a cold-ass bitch, and then deletes Twitter again. I DM'd her. I was like, look, who cares? This is, Chris, you're allowed to jump in and say this is the stupidest thing you've ever heard, like you did last week.
Well, now it is.
I gotta say, though, honestly, like, I that was my intention when I came in, but I was kind of mildly entertained by that. That was pretty good rant. I am sad. So, do you think she'll be on the Minifan Lady show this week, or?
Well,
No, Chris, I don't know.
It's a good question. I'm actually glad we're doing this because I am unable to do a Mini Ladies show this week. I have a prior engagement with my daughter, and I was ready to hear it. Oh, it got ugly, and now I'm not doing it. I can't face the music and blah blah blah. No, I have a prior engagement with my daughter. I'm not able to do one.
What's more important, Lauren? Come on.
Are DMs okay to share or not, Mike? We need to get to the bottom of this. And everyone's trying to make it. I'm not even mad about sharing the DMs. That's not what this is about. I feel like she got caught in a lie and she couldn't handle it.
Well, you did seem mad that she posted. Why am I doing this? You did seem a little mad that she posted it. Just devil's advocate and stuff.
But mad isn't even the right word. I just was like, look, I don't really think sharing a DM is cool. It's not for me. Other people will disagree with that. I didn't think it was cool. Had she just not responded with who is sharing DMs, this never would have happened.
Yeah.
She got caught in a lie. She couldn't handle it.
But to be fair, the DM she sent, it wasn't revealing any private information or anything. So isn't that kind of fun?
People could say, Steve was kind of, I think it said something like, oh, I'm trying to make drama for the show. And I think, obviously people are going to take that and run with it. And
yeah. It could make Steve look bad, you're saying.
Yeah, I felt bad. It was an honest mistake on his part. There was never a problem.
Well, it is Steve Robinson. This is not an honest man.
Yes,
no, the man is clearly a liar.
Based on lies and mistruths. I mean,
it's all contrived, and he, is rubbing his fingers together, laughing like a madman right now. So, congratulations, Steve.
But that's even in Steve's defense. I'll say shit like, I don't think MHB despises Matt Carano, but I'll say something like, oh, MHB came in hot and shit on Matt Carano. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of say stuff to get people interested in what you're doing. Whereas in reality, at the end of the day, is Steve exposing Dede? I mean, I'm sorry, is Dede, well, whichever way you want to say it. But maybe not. But to make it sound interesting for the show, or to get people to watch, you play it up a little bit. I can understand that.
I'm going to defend Dede for a second here because she's gone, and it's only fair. But I will say, I was on the show last week, and some people were really, especially before Kirk said I did a good job. People were outraged at me,
oh, really? See, I got the opposite.
Oh,
I got shit for kicking you out.
Yeah, no, it's fine. You're gonna get shit no matter what you do,
right?
And that's fine. I laugh about it. I roll my eyes about it. My wife and I laugh about it. It's funny, but I can see how someone maybe who doesn't think it's funny, maybe someone's more. I'm not a nice person. Some people who are very sensitive and kind might be. Oh, this hurts, and I can understand why she might take some of those DMs she was getting. That's kind of shitty. So maybe that does make you angry. I get that.
Well, she can't complain about people talking to her like that in the way she talked to me. I never said I called her sensitive. I think she is sensitive. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I would say not saying she's lying. I just think when you're in that moment, it seems more overwhelming. I'd be surprised if 30 people reached out and called her the C word or anything like that. That would just from my interaction with the Minifans, that would surprise me. Now maybe it's people I don't.
They don't call you the C word a lot, Mike?
Say it again.
They don't call you the C word a lot? You call me the C word.
Oh, no, they call me that plenty, but it's usually nicely
I hope they keep it up.
Yeah, everyone just publicly slams me. They have no problem with it. And
maybe that's what I'm saying. Is more people trash me publicly.
Yeah, they're happy to just do it. And I went into Discord last night and I said right off the bat, I'm like, look, I've been asked 100 times what's going on. I'm going to give you step by step. Everyone's stuck on the sharing of the DMs. That's not it for me. For me was, she said she tried to almost point the finger at me. I'm not having it. I'm stubborn, okay? I'll admit it. I will dig my heels in as long as I want if I really believe that I'm right, and I do believe that I'm right. I don't think that makes me a bitch. I don't think that means I have to be told to fuck off. I don't understand. I don't understand it.
I was surprised to hear that.
As stupid as it gets, to be honest.
I was surprised to hear that about Lauren, my girl Lauren Lynn. That surprised me a bit. But was there anything? Because that shit goes over my head a little bit. Were there any mean girl tactics used on the Minifan Ladies show? Was there something I missed that she could have possibly taken as you being passive aggressive?
No, I did bring it up. I'm trying to even remember.
I remember you bringing it up. I don't remember thinking anything.
It
bad
wasn't
about
nasty.
It, yeah.
I didn't think I was being nasty. I'm like, I kind of feel like you complain a lot. Not you, Dede. I feel like she complains a lot. So,
do you think Mike
if you can't handle that, no, Mike takes a beating like no one I've ever met. So, kudos to you for that.
Well deserved.
All right, so I don't know what we do now. We didn't resolve anything. That's disappointing. I was looking to make this the Jerry Springer show of the Miniverse, but it seems like people are just going to storm. Either I'm going to kick them out, or they're going to walk off on their own volition.
There you go. Right.
You can have Dede back next week in my seat.
So, Chris, how did you? People were outraged that I kicked you out for the last 6 minutes of the show last week. But how did you feel about it? Because I feel like, I mean, not to spoil anything, I feel like you and I have a decent rapport, but we can also kind of bust each other's balls the way we know each other. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, I do hate you, but
that hurts my feelings.
Yeah,
hey, fuck you. You know what? I think you're a vindictive bitch, Chris.
Hey, join the club. There you go.
You know, I was actually happy you threw me out on some level because I thought people, this may shock people, it was not a shtick last week. I really didn't care about RSS feeds and about some brackets. I don't give a fuck. So it was great. It made, like, it martyred me in some level. But why?
Wants to come on. Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
Who's coming back in? What's happening? Are we getting someone back in?
No, I said see if obviously wants to come on, her husband. But continue. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Oh, that really is what we're doing?
No, go ahead, Chris.
This is more interesting than what I have to say. People care much
Don't
about
anger Chris, Mike. Don't anger him.
No, I'm gonna
breaking news,
and I'll throw him off.
Breaking news. Obviously's account no longer exists.
Oh, well, at least well, maybe that's good. They're married. They're gonna stick together. I like that.
All right. No, so Chris, my issue with you was only that I found it funny what you were doing. Wherever you're like, really, this is what we're talking about. But then
not
eventually,
funny enough, apparently.
But well, eventually, it got to the point where I was like, I mean, yes, for this is what we're doing. Like, it's all silly bullshit if you break it down. It's not as important as the coronavirus.
No,
like, this is kind of what we do is talk about inside bullshit.
But I think you're so myopic, though. Like, 5,000 people watch this. Right. 200 people care about the shit you're talking. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, I think it has a wider net than you give it credit for.
You think it has a wider net than I give it credit for?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the show itself has a wider net?
I think your show, Mike and Minifans, is a wider net than you give it credit for. Absolutely. I think that's what Kirk was kind of saying this week, too, in regards to you bumping me like that. Like, I don't think people do care about RSS feeds. I think sometimes you get dragged into, like, these small battles, which I was kind of afraid is what was going to happen tonight. But that was genuinely entertaining, so I can't. I thought
it would be, yeah.
I mean, that was great. I mean, it was a classic rant by Dede. Like, that was impressive.
Yeah, I'm disappointed she stormed off, but yeah, that was kind of my thing. I was bored by it too, a little bit, to be honest. But I just feel like when you have two guys going at it and one's losing his, like my buddy Matt from Providence was losing his mind a little bit when he said
that was fake though. Like, it wasn't real. No one's that angry about it.
It was
didn't
fake.
Feel authentic.
It was fake, and it wasn't. But the part that I found interesting was just when he said. He's like, how do I lose by 200 votes or whatever it was he said? That's where I was like, okay, this is a guy who's actually mad. Let's go with it a little longer. And I'll tell you why I think I was right is that we got messages for the next day saying you're an asshole for kicking Chris out or Chris is an asshole for interrupting or whatever. So people were interested in it on some level.
Yeah, maybe. I do also want to address something I said last week too, which was I said, I just want to make sure I say this really clearly. I said I didn't care about the weight loss challenge.
Yeah.
What I meant to say was I really don't care about the weight loss challenge.
Come on.
No, let me explain it. So it's okay not to care about content. I don't say I don't like the weight loss challenge. I don't say that it's bad or shouldn't happen. I say I don't really care about that kind of content. I don't watch The Biggest Loser. I don't think that's entertaining. I don't read a lot of motivational books. It's okay not to care about something. It would be cruel if I made fun of someone in the weight loss challenge. That's shitty. But
I don't even think that is. I think you can make fun of whoever the fuck you want.
Mike made fun of me for being in the weight loss challenge.
Yeah, this skinny broad. This skinny broad coming in here.
I'm very upset, Mike.
I wouldn't make fun of someone in it. That's me. But I think to say you don't care about content, like I had people messaging me on Saturday night, like you need to apologize. I'm not going to apologize. I don't give a fuck about. I don't care. No, it's okay not to care about things. Isn't that kind of like what we do here?
Of course. No, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with you shitting on anything I do.
Yes, people are taking everything way too seriously. Everything.
Yes.
We're supposed to be able to have a little dig at each other. We're supposed to be able to disagree. And I'm sorry, I hate to go back to this, but something that was disappointing to me is how many people were forming an opinion of what I had to say without having the slightest idea of what happened. Have we not learned anything from Kirk about, like, do your research, understand what's going on before you just start flying away with these, opinions and who's right and who's wrong? Even though this is extremely minor situation, like, how is this happening, I don't go around telling people they're wrong when I don't even know what was said.
Well, that was my problem with Chris a little bit. That's where the original problem started. Where I was like, you piece of shit, or whatever I said. I called you a cunt or whatever.
That's right.
My issue was I felt that forming, not from you, just from everyone. Where you said that I was avoiding talking about. I really wasn't though, Chris. I was waiting to do it on the show.
But the speculation would have been interesting. So here's how it goes. Let's say you do speculate that Steve's going to lose his job. that gives Kirk content.
But Chris, I don't want to do that. Steve's I like Steve. He's my coworker.
And that gives him content too.
That was a real situation where I'm not just going to go, hope Steve gets fired tomorrow or anything. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't ready. I didn't fully know what was going on, so I wasn't going to just tweet about it.
Sure. I think then you posting like weight loss updates was bizarre. It was state radio. It was very
I just retweeted people because we needed people to send in videos to do a show.
From your Twitter account.
What do you mean?
Well, what?
You tweeted. It was strange because it was like salmon swimming upstream. You had 98% of people saying, "Oh my God, Steve."
That's where. So the Dale thing. When you said Dale, the only reason I took umbrage with that is because you were acting like I wasn't going to. Like if we talked about it on the show, I was going to say, "Hey guys, there's a Baker Mayfield statue going up in Oklahoma." You know,
right.
Like I wasn't avoiding the subject. I was just waiting till we talked about it because that felt too real for me to go on Twitter and do my little.
And that would have been a good.
My little blind Mike thing where I'm like, "Oh, it's Steve. Hope nothing's wrong with Steve. Is Steve a liar, guys? I don't know." It felt too real to do that.
And tweet like, "This is too real. I can't talk about it. See you on Monday." That would have been a great tweet.
Maybe, but I don't think the world was.
Honest. It felt like it was Putin approved tweets. It was strange. I know obviously you guys always handle everything. That's why I'm a fan.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing too. The reason that anyone would think that annoyed me because it's not like Kirk's going to tell me not to tweet about it. It was just me on my own saying, I'll talk about it on the show.
That's why I made fun of you on your own.
Yeah. But Steve didn't tweet out like the day before the Madawaska incident. Steve didn't tweet out like, "Oh, Mike's going to take a beating tomorrow."
But he didn't tweet anything. But he didn't tweet anything out.
Right.
That's the difference.
I see.
That's why it felt weird.
Yeah. But the reason I did with the weight loss thing is because we actually needed people to send videos to try and do a show that ended up kind of sucking.
If you say so, okay.
But I think we see each other's points and hashed it out like men.
I think you are.
Can't settle a problem.
Yeah, I agree. You are not Dale Arnold. You are Rich Keefe. I would agree. Mike, should we move on? Should we move on to one of my points about your initiative or no?
Of course. Go ahead.
Okay, good. So I think a lot of people in Discord or Twitter or myself sometimes can sometimes question your initiative.
Right.
And I know Kirk one time on this show said to you, "Don't you wish you had Steve's initiative?" And if my boss told me that, I would shit on the floor right there. Like I would be like, "Holy fuck!" Right. But you just said, "Yeah." Well, what were you thinking in that moment?
I don't think he was literally asking me. I think it was just an off the cuff comment. He's saying, "Don't you wish you had Steve's initiative?"
Do you think he wishes you had Steve's initiative?
I'm sure, yes. But what I'm saying is, I don't think I'm as fucking lazy as it's portrayed. I focus on the show all day. I look for stories. I think the problem is like when Steve says at the end of when I ask, "What is this a reactive versus proactive thing?" at the end of a show, and Steve says, "Well, give me a news story." It's like, hey, I don't have notes in front of me. I'm a naturally nervous guy. Like I'm not going to respond right in that moment, but I do look for stories and stuff like that all day. The stuff with videos and shows, like I'm trying to do more of that. I think the issue is not initiative. It's that I'm not creative. Like I don't think I'm that funny or good with coming up with ideas. I don't think it's a laziness thing. You see what I'm saying?
You gotta not even worry about the difference between whether or not you're lazy or whether or not you're creative, because you hear it almost every show now. Kirk will turn to you and just be like, "Do you have anything, Mike?" And I think there's something about that comment that he's trying to tell you something.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I would agree with that. And I try to always come prepared, and maybe I don't enough, but I really feel like I focus on the show nonstop. And if that's, I'm trying harder every day. Every time this comes up, I try even harder. But
Mike, do you wish Kirk would mentor you more?
No, that's not his job. His job is to do a good show every day.
Do you think it would help you if he mentored you more?
Oh God, if he sees this, he's cringing right now. So
yeah, no, I don't think so.
No, I mean,
I think he leads by example. Like I've learned a lot from him just by doing a show with him.
The style, the way he comes up with things as it goes along, I think is something. You know, I kind of use the analogy. My son is 13, and every day I have to ask him, can you go put your plate in the sink? Can you go put your plate in the sink?
Right.
Eventually, I would like the kid to just damn do it himself. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I understand. But yeah, I don't. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm not good enough at it because, like, the other day, like when we brought up the Artie Lang thing, like Steve brought that up, but I told Steve about it before the show. So it's just like I come with shit that I know and I'm interested in. It's just a lot of times we get to it before they say, "All right, Mike, dance for us." You know, I don't know.
Where's your big ta-da?
Yeah, right. So maybe I need to come up with more obscure shit that they wouldn't get to necessarily.
Were you nervous at all? Like, so when Kirk obviously took his break for mental health, and you know, when you have a major life event like that, you kind of, or at least whenever I have major things happen to me, I kind of take I look at everything in my life. Were you nervous at all that he'd be like, you know what, this show is just too much. It's very taxing. It's very emotional. I'm gonna take a step back. Were you worried he was gonna cancel the show?
I think I got like during the, not in that moment. I think during the week I was like, okay, what do we do if the show doesn't come back? That thought crossed my mind, but I never really got there as far as like, you know, we were only gone for a week, so I guess I didn't have that, and I was doing shit like this every day. So I guess I didn't have a lot of time to think, well, what do I do? Like the thought certainly crossed my mind, obviously, but I wouldn't say I was worried about it really. You
mentioned in Go for Geary that you would have gone into like you would consider it potentially a career, whatever, like in comedy promotions. Like is that kind of is that?
I would like to. I mean, I don't know. I haven't worked in that field really, so I don't know if I could just walk in and get a job as a comedy club booker or in comedy club promotions or anything like that. Sure. I don't know, but yeah, sir, it's certainly something I'm interested in that world, I guess. Yeah.
Lauren, were you nervous that Kirk was gonna, as a fan? I'm a fan too. You know, how have you been a fan for a while? I'm not trying to like clout shout, you know, or whatever. Like, I just didn't know how long you've been listening to.
Yes, my dog's name is Kirk, and I've had my dog for 6 years. So,
okay. So you were probably nervous like I was. I've been nervous now 3 times listening to Kirk. Obviously, the times he's walked away, and then one time during Enough About Me, he mentioned he was hearing voices, and I remember where I was in the car when I heard that, and I was like, "Whoa, that's really scary." And you know, it's hard because I care about the guy, but then I'm sure Lauren, you probably feel, and like I'm sure to a different extent, but like I don't want this guy to go away out of my life either. He's genuinely entertaining to me.
Right.
I don't know, Lauren, if you had some of those same concerns when Kirk said that he was not feeling well.
Yeah, you know, you can feel it almost like it's a friend who's going through something, just because it's the show is something that's part of your life every day. You know, you do at some level, you know, care about these people. So when things like that come up, it hits you pretty hard. So, and not in a selfish way, like, oh my gosh, what about the show? Come on now. Right. It's, oh, I want this man to be okay.
The podcast where he did to any mincels that never heard that, it was a pretty interesting. If you can go back and find, I don't even know if Enough About Me still exists. I'm sure it does somewhere. But it was a pretty interesting thing where Kirk was talking about some of the stuff he was dealing with. He said he'd heard voices, and that was the one where you know, I relate to some of the mental stuff that Kirk goes through. But that was the one episode where I was like, okay, this is a totally different level than anything I've ever dealt with. Like, that's kind of a scary thing that he's dealing with that I can't even imagine, really.
I never heard anything like that on air before. That was really, it was a lot. Can I give you a compliment, Mike? Is that allowed here? And here's, you mentioned kind of the laziness thing, and this is something I love to see you do more personally, selfishly. So you did the like the Red Robin Gourmet Burgers and Brews video.
Yeah.
And I know that got rushed early. I know.
Yeah, it came out good.
But it was still really good. It was still like really entertaining. And the ideas that you talked about, like, I'm gonna have Steve's interviews kind of cut in with that.
Yeah.
I think that would have been like really funny. Like, it was still really funny. I think you should do those every week. I don't understand why you don't. Like, and I don't mean Periscope stuff, because you're a blind guy doing Periscope. It doesn't work. Right. Because but if you had
like the visuals.
If you had a video every week, like just like Latino Kirk did, that was fantastic. With the internet, that was awesome. I think you should do that.
I could have done without Will. I'm so excited to go to Logan Airport. Like, this was the Panora, Iowa show, not the Will's big day out. So I could have done without that. But
it set the mood. It was still really entertaining. I really like that. But I would love to see you do more. I think you have I think you hold yourself back sometimes. I want to see you do more. I would love to see weekly things of you doing shit like Burgers and Brews. That was hysterical. Yeah. Like, why don't we get that every week? I don't understand.
Well, the problem is, so some of that stuff that comes up is like, I can't do it on my own, really. You see what I'm saying? Like the Red Robin, I need Justin or something. But if I need to go to Iowa or Colorado or something,
No, I don't.
I can't just.
How about local stuff? Can Justin help you with that?
Sure. Yeah, and I should do more. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Why bother arguing with you? Yeah, I should do more of that stuff.
It was really good. I'm just saying, like, it was from someone. I just was really entertained by it. Like, I would love to see more of it.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to think of in like the last few weeks, say what would be a good idea for that. But yeah, you're right. There is always stuff like that, like the bank thing that me and Tim both did, where like we went to a bank to see if we could deposit. I forget what the phrase was. Whatever Steve said, take it to the bank. I guess shit like that. I should be doing more of. I am more comfortable, and this is why I'm glad I found like I'll do Go for Geary, the stand-up review show, another show that. Rich Mandarin gave me an idea for that's kind of similar. I'm more comfortable doing this because I guess I'm not comfortable going out in the world with as my vision gets worse, I feel less and less comfortable doing that shit, I guess, which is on me. I need to.
No, that makes sense. I understand. Are you still in therapy?
Yeah. Actually, I just got an odd on a Saturday night. My therapist just texted me and asked about my insurance. And I said,
on Saturday night?
Yeah. And I said, oh, well, I mean, I can give that to you, but we haven't been going through my insurance. And he replied, that's right. See you Wednesday.
Oh, my God.
What the fuck is this?
I like this guy.
He's an older gentleman. So I guess maybe that's just how old school guys do it. But
no, insurance has been processed the same way for a very long time. I can tell you
what
that.
What are you talking about?
Just contacting you on a Saturday night is not normal.
It's very bizarre. And he's called me handsome a few times, which makes me both. It gives me a boost, but it also makes me a little uneasy. I don't know how to feel about it.
Has he touched you yet, Mike, or no?
He is not. Yeah, he stays on the other side of the room.
Maybe that's what he's asking about the insurance. Maybe next visit.
What'd you say? Therapist for your therapist? That's cute.
What did he say?
He said, "Do you need a therapist for your therapist?"
Yeah, I mean,
very funny.
Calls you handsome. Whatever it takes to, get that self-esteem up.
Right.
Everyone wants to be told that they look good. So I don't have a problem with it.
Lauren, are you worried about running out of women for the Minifan Lady Show? Is that going to happen? You've already ran one off today.
I feel like you've got a decent stable in that Minifan Ladies chat.
One, I've run 2 off, and I'm not nervous about it because I know I'm a mean girl, guys. It's fine. It's fine. What was it?
Who would have thought Lauren Lynn comes off as this sweetheart, but she's now got at least 2 rivals in 4 weeks of the show or whatever it's been?
I know. I'm racking them up. It's okay. I'm not worried about it because we've decided that a 3-person format is best. And I think Brandy's going to be with me a lot. So really, we just have to pop in. I definitely want to have Latino Kirk's wife on again. I thought she was really fun, really good. And this is, I was thinking maybe Steve's got these messages mixed because I had said something. I'm like, I have a little bit of anxiety about telling people, like, we're not going to have you on this time. And I really, believe it or not, am a nice person and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. That's why I don't, name call anybody. So maybe
classic
it.
Bitch move, Lauren.
Yes, right. Yeah, no, really. I hate everybody and I'm going to sign off now. Bye. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's to tell us to go fuck ourselves.
Oh, that's right. Fuck off. Goodbye.
That's right.
Wow. So obviously he's gone to. I wanted to have obviously on because he seems like an even-keeled guy. I was curious.
Did you try to call him? What happened when you tried to call him? What happened there?
I don't have his number or anything. I told Justin to message him, but the account doesn't exist anymore. So obviously. I don't know. Yeah, obviously. We won't get good gems like that.
I'm impressed. I was able to get my questions. I wrote down questions. I thought it would be just me and Mike. But I was actually able to get I only have one more for you, Mike. That's a lot of people critique you about being a yes man. Yeah. And I have kind of proof of that, I guess.
Sure.
In that when Steve got suspended, I want to relitigate that. But Kirk kind of was going on that Monday show. Kirk was going all in on Steve, and you said yes a lot. And then Wednesday,
I defended Steve.
You did kind of, but Wednesday and Thursday, Kirk kind of backtracked a bit and says, "You know what? I kind of, maybe I was a little too hard on that show." And as someone who listened to this show when it came out, I was like, "Holy fuck, this guy's beating this guy up."
Yeah,
I would never imagine. And Kirk kind of said, "Hey, if you wanted on Monday, he said, if you wanted to, you could have come back and you could have told me to scrub the audio, and I would have said yes. I think that's bullshit. There's no way Steve could have done that. And I think on Wednesday,
no, I don't think so. But
you don't think so? What now? I'm sorry.
Wait, so you're saying if he can't, if Steve said it after he did it
on that first show 1?
Yeah.
You think?
Oh, he would have been crucified. He would have been crucified.
No,
I don't know that he. I don't know that he would have been fired. Like I don't. If you come back.
No. I'm sorry. I'm not being clear. So
yeah.
I think Kirk was said like, "Hey, Steve, if you're not comfortable after we air something, you can tell me to scrub it out before we run it, and I'll take it out."
Oh, yes, that he can do.
Probably so. But after that first episode, he just started working with Kirk. He didn't know Kirk really, and Kirk really beat him up on air on that first episode, which we've all kind of been listening to recently with Kirk being out the last couple of weeks. And I think on Wednesday and Thursday, Kirk kind of realized that because he said on air on Wednesday, I think especially Thursday, he's like, maybe I need to kind of reevaluate kind of how I was looking at that. I was kind of an asshole to Steve. I think he calls himself an asshole on the Thursday show. And you once again said yes. So like you kind of agreed the fact that Steve could have gone to Kirk. And then 3 days later, you agreed that Kirk was an asshole. So
I'm kind of confused by what you mean. Because
I'm not explaining very well. I'm sorry.
On the Steve getting suspended show, I said he shouldn't get suspended. I said he's a different guy now than he was then.
Totally.
And I said I don't think a suspension does anything. That was my only real point.
But
so I don't really know what you're talking about.
Kirk said to Steve, "You could have come to me after that show, and we could have scrubbed the audio." And I don't think that's the case.
After
Maybe
the show, yes.
After that show 1, the first show that ever happened,
I wasn't there.
You weren't there, right?
Well, I don't know, but I'm telling you now. If Steve said, "Hey, this came up about my wife," or whatever the case might be, then Kirk would say, "Yeah, no problem." So,
I totally agree, but I think if you kind of put yourself in that moment in the summer when Kirk and Steve just started working together, and Kirk, if you listen to that first show, it's pretty rough. Kirk beats Steve up.
I don't think you're right about that.
Really? I thought
beats him up over what?
It might sound rough just because they didn't really know each other, and they're still feeling out each other's techniques on the air. So
I don't remember that being rough at all.
Less of a flow.
I remember the audio that Steve scrubbed. I remember thinking I was surprised. I mean, obviously, there's a family dynamic that I don't know anything about. But as a listener, I was surprised Steve was bothered by it because it seemed somewhat mild to me.
I guess it didn't seem mild to me. I felt like he was kind of pushed in that direction. And I said, Kirk did kind of call himself a couple of days later, like, "Hey, maybe I was kind of an asshole there. Like, I got to kind of reevaluate," especially when you just started working with this guy. And you said yeah to both. And I guess maybe I'm making this way longer than it should be. It sounds like I did.
Yeah, because I don't even really remember what you're talking about. So I'm not sure. I'd have to hear the audio, I guess.
I guess I was just trying to find critique of where Kirk may have double backed or changed his mind on something, and you agreed with him both times.
Yeah, I certainly understand why people say that. There's not we don't get in a lot of heated arguments, really. Maybe there's something that I don't notice where from a lack of confidence, I'll just say yeah to something, but that would be a subconscious thing that I'm not picking up on and I'm not aware that I do. But on like topical stuff, I don't think that I've ever done that where I've said I agree with him when I don't.
Has there ever, what's the thing Kirk has done since you've worked with him that you've disagreed with the most?
The thing he's like,
anything that comes to your mind that you've really disagreed with Kirk.
I mean, I guess the biggest debate we've had was that Michelle Carter thing way back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say too, to your credit, I thought you did have a bit more bite on Wednesday than you usually do. I felt like you were kind of pushing back a bit more, a couple of different instances, and it made it for a more enjoyable show. Like when Steve kind of pushed back on Carinado, and maybe it's just your comfortability working with this guy. You guys haven't been working together for that long, really.
Right.
So maybe you guys finally found, like, you know what, like, you're wrong. Carinado's a terrible idea. Or you kind of pushed back a little bit on Wednesday's show, which was good to hear.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've been working on stuff with the old brain doctor, so I don't know. Maybe I'm getting slightly more confident. I have no idea, but hopefully that's the case. That's what I'm working on.
Lauren, do you find Mike to be a yes man?
I do, but in his defense, I rarely find myself thinking that Kirk is not making a valid point, so I can't really argue with that. I think, and I can barely make a coherent sentence, so who am I to judge anyone's on-air, ways? But doing 3 YouTube Minilady show, I can tell you, trying to quickly think of a comeback or a response can be tricky. And, sometimes situations, one point you could go, yeah, that's true. And then someone could say the exact opposite. And you go, well, yeah, that's a good point too. So it's possible to say yes to both things. Like, can you share DMs? Some people say yes. Some people say no. Some people say you're a vindictive bitch if you do. I don't know.
So, Lauren, let me ask you, though, to go back to that argument. If Chris and I got into an argument on here.
Fuck you, Mike.
And he said, yeah, he tells me to go fuck myself. And then I say, well, why were you saying I was a nice guy right here? You're saying, oh, it's all for the air. And I just post a screenshot of that, of him being kind of a phony. Do you think that's wrong?
No, this is a public forum.
No, but I'm saying if afterwards I say, like, hey, I have proof of you being a phony in our DMs. You see what I'm saying?
No.
Like, would you have an issue with that?
No, and I mean, to say have an issue, it makes it sound so much more important than it is.
Right.
I
understand that.
In that specific situation, I didn't think that was a great move. Steve had already apologized. We should have moved on.
I hear
That's
you.
all. I mean, it is. Yeah.
Do we want to try and take some calls to close this out, or no? That was my original thought when it was just going to be me and Chris, but then we ended up getting an all right show out of this. So I don't know. Should we go to the calls, or maybe some?
I also do want to say one more thing: is that we should all be angrier at Nami. I don't think there's been enough anger toward Nami.
You're 100%
fuck
right.
them. That money could have gone to pay for an operator on the phone. I mean, think about all the Minifan money. That could be $25,000, $50,000. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was very disappointing. Mind you, a charity I've donated to before. That's where all the very nice people in Discord and everything that donated to get me to Miami. I had a lot of money. I had like $1,000 left over, and that all went to Nami. Unfortunately, like I fucked up because I didn't have to talk to them on the phone and tell them what
I would never have guessed that charity would turn down. So what is it? It's the Jed group, right? So if anyone has any extra money right now, the Jed group is the best place to go.
Yeah, or even the easiest way to do it is just go buy a T-shirt. Go buy a "Good Luck, Take Care of Yourself, Hope All Is Well" shirt, or the Mental Health Talk About It shirt on KirkMinahanshow.com or the Barstool Sports Store. That's the easiest way to donate, or you can go and do it yourself if you'd like. But yeah, the idea that Nami is essentially turning down money because Barstool has made it a joke that they didn't like.
Imagine working for that nonprofit and you heard that. You're like, hey, we can't give you a raise right now, but we're
working our asses off here to get money, and you're turning it down.
I would be incensed.
Yeah, that was infuriating when I heard that, and I was disappointed. I got to look into. I feel weird about trying to get money back from a charity, but if anyone deserves it,
you should call them. You should call them and want their money back. And you should do that on air. Be like, fuck you, Nami. I want my money back, and give it all to a good group like the Jed Group.
Maybe we should do that Monday. Or on the next Go for Geary, which is also Monday, I think. So look for that.
That should happen once a week. That's a good show. Keep that up. That's good
I was
stuff.
wondering if I should do it twice a week. Maybe that's too much.
I don't know. At least once a week. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really good, though. You're good. You're good on air. Like, you're
thank
you,
you, sweetheart.
Oh, anytime, honey. You're good taking calls and stuff. You're much better than I guess I would have guessed. I don't. Maybe you have a background in it. It's good.
Yeah. No, I've never done that before. But yeah, I'm all right conversationally. I think just when I'm
Stop that, Mike. You sound so meek. Yeah, I'm all right.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Come on.
You shut your fucking mouth. Broads I can talk down to. It's men that intimidate me.
I can't handle this. I need to leave.
Lauren, this is my one criticism of the Minifan Ladies show is that if I hear one more goddamn discussion about whether or not you should be treated equal to men, let's move on. You should be treated equal. Now let's move to something else, ladies, for Christ's sake.
Okay.
I was kidding. I'm sorry.
Don't that one over well, Mike. Good job, buddy.
I'm terribly sorry.
I'm not sure. I think you claim to listen and you don't, because I heard you with MHB.
Listen every week.
No, you don't, because you and MHB were all like, the picture that was posted of Blind Mike's groupie. No, you and MHB talked about it.
No, I know. But we were talking about the picture that Stephen T. posted. Yeah.
Yes, but we talked about it on the Minna Lady show. I asked her about it.
Oh, I might not have seen the whole thing, but yeah, I listened to the beginning anyway.
Oh, see? Am I correct? Or yeah.
Keep me a little more entertained.
Yeah, well, we talked about it.
All right, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
She caught you, man.
I need to be the new lies investigator person because I'm just banging them out
that
today.
can't be right though, dude. Because I listened. I heard when Latino Kirk's wife was on, and you had this long discussion. Maybe the most bizarre moment in broadcasting history, where you two are explaining to a woman that her husband is not a pervert, which I found fascinating.
Did you see the first 12 minutes of today's show?
Of this program? No,
it was pretty bizarre.
I was zoned out of that too.
I think you have to take some calls. If you threaten calls, you have to take some, right?
All right. Do we have that up, Justin, or no? Hey, get that up, and people can call in if they want. No big deal. I guess the number is 508-964 flap, whatever that spells. 325. What does that spell? 3527.
Is this the strangest one you've done, Mike? Where we've had this amazing fireworks start the show and then a nice, thoughtful discussion afterwards? It's like Charlie Rose about.
It's been weird, but I think it's been good. I think it's been entertaining. I think people have liked it, but
I'm sure they haven't.
Well, kudos to Chris because he came with a whole list of things to talk about.
Oh my God! Yes.
My notes say "fuck off" and "you're a bitch." So. That's all I came with.
The other thing I meant to get into with you, Chris, was MHB. I guess more of his shots were at Matt Carano, but were you offended by him going after you guys?
No, not at all. No. I mean, it was fine. I have no problem at all with. Oh, this is a different angle. I have no problem at all with. No one wants to see. Lauren, they want to see, not me.
No.
No, not at all. It was fine.
Because Matt seemed genuinely like kind of annoyed about it when I was talking to him, anyways.
I felt like maybe MHB wanted to start a fight with me. I just wasn't interested. I felt bad for MHB, like back when he got doxxed back in like the late summer. I thought that was so shitty and really horrible. I think maybe MHB, like I've been around a while. I know like Quantum Week Chris is a new thing, but I've actually been around a while. And I just felt bad for MHB, so I have no beef with him at all. He's a good man. He's been around a long time, and he would have had your job if he lived closer, Mike.
Yeah, I'm glad to see MHB doing well because it seems like he's doing well with dealing with Twitter now and all that shit. Like on the show, he seems relaxed when he's done it with me. So it's good to see him. I think he's doing well, which is nice to see. The other thing,
are him and DC going to do a show again together?
It's been alleged.
Are they angry at each other?
No, I don't think so. I think they're fine now. I know that MHB and Matt Carano are on with Steve tomorrow, I think.
I'll watch that.
That should be interesting.
For the politics?
Yes, the Robinson Report, I believe. I don't know if that's going to be live or not, but stay tuned for that. The other thing I should mention before we get any calls here, feel free to call in, folks. Throw the number up there, Justin.
Flap.
What's up?
I can do it, but they won't. You'll be able to hear them, but you just won't be able.
Oh, Lord. Well, we'll see what they have, and we'll see if they're any good. We're not going to take a bunch, just maybe one or two. But did you guys watch the Murchison video?
Oh, the one that Warden of the North put out.
It laughed out of court, basically. Yeah.
Warden of the North, by the way, amazing job by him.
Yes, excellent.
The last week, Warden of the North has been hitting.
Oh, he's always funny. Yeah,
he's amazing.
He is incredible.
I didn't care that he clipped me speaking. He obviously edited that, me yelling at a kid, telling him to fuck himself. Obviously, I would never say such a thing. Obviously, that's doctored. All right, let's pick up this call, Justin. Let's see who it is. What's up, caller? Hello? All right,
that was a good call.
Never mind. Why bother? Anything else you guys want to get to before we get out?
That was the only call we're gonna take. You gotta take.
All right, I'll try another one. I just don't think this is gonna work, but let's try this one. Hello, caller. What's happening?
Yeah, there's something about Quantum Reed Chris that just kind of speaks to me. I don't know. I think it's the voice of my generation.
Chris, they're making fun of your voice.
That's not me. It sounds just like me. That's not me. I'm sorry.
He's a really good dude. When he talks about the Ewoks and hating them, I agree with him. I think they should have gone back to the Luke Skywalker bar.
I'm in stereo. I hated my voice before.
Which Muppets character do you sound like? I can't put my finger on it.
All of them. I have the worst voice in history. I'm well aware of that, caller. Thank you.
I apologize for pointing that out to people, Chris. It makes me
Thank you. Yeah, thanks a lot, Mike. They would have heard it in their own, I think.
All right. I guess we can take another one, see how it goes. Is there anything else you guys wanted to get to before we get out of here, though?
I'm
good.
All right.
I enjoy the abuse, though. It's fun.
I do like I do like Quantum Week, by the way. I watched the one you guys did on the YouTube channel. I was interested in the Lost conversation just because I've never heard it before.
And we're back on Monday, 8:30.
Fantastic. Hello, caller. What's up? Yeah, all right. This isn't going to work. It's a Saturday night.
I'm glad I asked more of this.
The calls aren't going to work.
Good instinct by me.
Thank you anyways, Justin. Well, I like to leave people on a low, on a dud, on a sour note. So that's how we'll go. I don't know how this will be received, and I rarely do. I hope it was all right. I'm sure there's something I said in the middle there that I'll get crucified for, but whatever. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Thank you guys for coming on this.
Thank you to Dede as well for joining us, right?
Yes, thank you for Dede for bringing the fire and setting the tone, really. Lauren, so you won't be on the Minute Ladies show this week?
No, there won't be one this week. Sorry. So
why?
We'll be back.
Won't be one at all without you.
Well, my daughter has a band recital.
We heard the spiel about your daughter.
They have not canceled it yet, which is kind of shocking, but they will probably.
All right, so possibly a Minifan Lady show, but unlikely is what we're saying.
That's what we're going to leave. I think I've done enough tonight. I need to decompress after this. So
fair enough. Thank you very much, Lauren. Quantum Week on the YouTube channel on Monday, and then
Monday 8:30. Obviously, you can download podcasts as well. But yes, Monday 8:30 on the YouTube channel.
And then you can get the regular episodes on iTunes and all that, I assume, as well.
You bet, of course.
Fantastic. All right, guys, thanks for coming on. Sorry.
Thanks, Mike.
Well, whatever. All right, goodbye.
Bye.